guys, welcome back to Position Well. It's fall, y'all. I know, I'm late. The autumn season has arrived. I'm a few steps behind, but don't fret because in this video, I'm going to be making my very own wreath. I'm going to be taking you shopping with me. I'm going to be repainting my porch chairs. I have a pumpkin spice simmer pot recipe for you and so much more. You may want to start by going back to last fall to see what I did for my porch last year, because this year I am doing a simple porch decor. It's going to be cozy and cute. So let's get started.
So let's have story time. I stopped posting recently on YouTube for about 3 months because I was burnt out. I gave YouTube right, a full year of uploads, and being the person who does the filming, who does the editing, who writes the description, it just became overwhelming, and I wanted to reset and go into prayer to make sure I was still in alignment. But also, traditionally for me, I have to be in a space to be creative. So I started praying for a hobby that would allow me to intertwine this channel. Speaking of hobby, here we go, Hobby Lobby. That would intertwine this channel with what I do for home decor. And look at me. I think they're about to open up the store. Let there be an entrance. One day, I saw Satiria's Door Decor on my Facebook feed. And what is so interesting is I actually have an image of her page in my phone from a year ago, almost to the day. But this particular time, her post resonated with me because she was talking about someone who had just taken her tutorial. Ooh, y'all, this pillow would go great with my porch, but I had to put that thing back. Honey, that was too much. Just for me to go back to the store and back 2 days later. Do y'all do that? I mean, at the time, it was too much all at once. Oh, so what I'm getting ready to do here, you guys, is I am going to create my own wreath stand. Now, when I started this video, which was probably over a month ago now, Cetaria did not have her own wreath stands that she sells. She does have them now online. So I had gone to Etsy and I'm like, I can do this myself. Y'all, let me just tell you, part of DIY is believing in yourself. I don't have a wood shop or anything. So I just went and got me a sheet of wood. I already had that hook in my drawer. And I'm like, I can do this. Couple that with those doggone angles and some glue, and we are good to go. So what I did is I just outlined the angles, and then I put wood glue down first, and then on top of that I put some Gorilla Glue, right? And I thought I was going to clamp it down for it to dry, but long story short, after I set it down, I went into the garage and I could not find the clamps. Y'all, I was in there panicking. Y'all have no idea. And it just dawned on me that I think I had threw all the clamps away. And I'm literally on my cell phone on Google like, okay, what can I use in place of clamps? And by the time I came back in the house, the crazy thing is it had set just that fast. And I didn't need the clamps after all. So I'm telling y'all know what it is. Happy dance. Happy dance. All you gotta do is believe in yourself. And sometimes I believe in myself too much, because I don't always think. See, I didn't think about that. But it's okay. I have a lot of weights laying around, and why not use them for the good of this wreath? And that's exactly what I did. So it all works out in the end. anything is achievable. What I'm getting ready to do next is to paint the circle for my wreath. I chose white and I had a satin option and a matte. I'm traditionally not a matte person, so I just wanted to see which one I would like. And of course, I'm going with the satin. I did 3 coats because I didn't want any of the paint to be see-through. All right, back to the story. And I almost kind of forgot where I left off, but you know I'm old, it's okay. I recognized the person who she posted who had taken her tutorial because we had worked together at some wedding shows. And I'm like, wow, she's making some wreaths and she's selling them. I wonder if I can do this. And I talked to one of my girlfriends. She's like, Shanae, you are the most craftiest person I have ever known. So here I go. I bought this easy bow maker and I'm going to show you all how to make some bows because I did not purchase the bow tutorial. So what you see me doing now is hammering in these dowels. I would suggest that you knock the dowels on the side because the whole purpose is that the ribbon fits within them in the center so that you do not have to hold it with your fingers. The dowels should be holding the ribbon. Now I'm going to tell you the first mistake I made, which is I bought ribbon that did not have a wire on it. Don't do that, y'all. Don't be like me. Be better than me. I did not know. Okay? So I'm going to show you how to make this work because if you can do it with this ribbon, I think you can do it with any ribbon. Now I made the first ribbon off camera because I feel like sometimes y'all be looking at me and I can't concentrate, okay? So because I had never done this before, I needed to have privacy. But it's okay, I'm bringing you all back in now and I'm going to show you all how to make the bow. First, we're going to determine how long we want our tail. You can do this 2 different ways. You can eyeball it or you can use the Easy Bow Maker's dimensions and measure it by hand, and then that way each one of your tails will be the same length. So what I'm doing now is measuring it against the Easy Bow dimensions. So it is completely up to you. That is going to be the part that's going to hang down. That's what I'm calling the tail. The other terms you all are going to get familiar with is the ugly side and the pretty side. Just go with it, okay? Because I did try to watch somebody else's tutorial on YouTube and I had no idea what they were talking about. And with this ribbon, it's kind of hard because you can't tell which side is the good side and which side is the not so good side, okay? First thing you want to do once you bring it through is measure. I'm making my loops at 5.5 inches and then I'm going to bring it through on the right hand side like so, and then I'm going to flip my wrist palm facing the ceiling to the ugly side like so. Then we're going to measure 5.5 inches on the other side, and then we're going to bring that through like so to the pretty side. And then once you have that done, you're going to just do exactly the same thing and flip your wrist like I am getting ready to do right now to the ugly side. And you're going to measure 5.5 inches again, but what I am choosing to do is to measure my loop against the previous loop. So that is an option as well. Once you do that, you want to go ahead and pull it through like so, and then flip your wrist again to the ugly side. By now, you are making your 4th loop, and you're going to bring that through back to the left side after measuring. And because I am only going to have 2 loops on each side, this is where we're going to stop with the blue ribbon. Now, I'm not cutting anything at this point. I'm just trying to position it so that it stays in place, which is another reason why I said the wire ribbon would be much better, because you wouldn't have to do all of this correcting that I'm doing to try to make sure it's perfect. but nonetheless, you all get the picture. Next up, I'm going to put my orange ribbon because it's about the same width. And now when I say pretty and ugly, you all will really understand what I'm saying, because it's going to be the design side and the non-design side, which for the blue ribbon is really hard to tell. Some ribbon is shiny on one side and dull on the other, but for this blue ribbon that I have, it basically was the same. So now I just went ahead and measured my tail, and I'm going to put it down just like I did with the navy one. And once I do that, I'm going to take the ribbon that's on the left hand side and do those same actions. Flip my wrist, palm to the ceiling, and then measure 5.5 inches against the loop that is under it. What I decided to do is for the wider ribbons, I kept the same measurements, and as the ribbon got smaller, I went down. I believe the next ribbon that I did was 4.5, and then I think I went down even to 2 inches. I can't remember, but that really is up to you and how you want your bow to look. So you may need to play with it just to get it exactly the way that you want it. So as I am measuring it against the other loop, now I'm coming through to the pretty side, and then I'm going to flip it again to the ugly side. Okay? I promise you all, you're probably trying to figure out, like, why is she saying pretty and ugly? Look, because when I watched this other YouTube video, I had no idea what this lady was talking about. And then when you get the easy bow instructions, I have no idea who they're talking to, but it is not, or it was not me, because I could not comprehend any of it. So I promise you, when you get this, if you choose to get this and make your own bows, you will start saying the pretty side, the ugly side, the pretty side, the ugly side. It'll all make sense, people. It'll all make sense. I think you all have it now. So I'll go ahead and speed up the video and allow you all to watch me finish the bow. I did purchase the tutorial, and after shopping for my items, I thoroughly enjoyed making the wreath. I can't show you all how I made it, obviously, but at the end of the video, I will show you the one that I made. I will share with you some suggestions and also show you an error that I made, so that you can look out for that if you choose to purchase one for yourself, or if you choose to purchase the tutorial more specifically. So yeah, I feel like creatively I'm back, and I had a wonderful time making this fall video. And I really just hope it's something that you all can gravitate to, and something that you may decide to do for yourself in the coming months, because you all know Christmas is approaching, honey. It is approaching. All right. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to take these ribbons off of the dowels. Stay tuned. Now take your chenille stem and put it at the bottom of your loops. You want to make sure you have all of them gathered before you pull it up off the dowels. Once you pull it up off the dowels, like I just did, there's going to be an indentation in the ribbons from where the dowels were. Put your chenille stem in the middle of those indentions, and then tighten it as tight as you can get it, and place it on your counter and spread your ribbon out the way that you would like for it to be on your wreath. Once you have everything spread and all of the loops pretty, or whatever you want to call it, and have it well positioned like you see me doing here, this is when you're going to go in with your zip tie. And this is how you're going to keep all your loops in place. What I do is take the zip tie, put it right beside that chenille stem, and tighten the zip tie as tight as it will go. Then you can remove the chenille stem and your loops will be in place and will remain in place until you decide to cut the zip tie. So I hope this helps. It worked for me, and this is how I plan to do them in the future, but with wired ribbon. So next up, I have a pumpkin spice simmer pot for you guys. And I know that I created one last year, but I did make some changes with it. Last year I used pumpkin spice flavoring, and this year I used pumpkin spice oil. And baby, I'm telling you, you don't even need to turn on your burner because it is so fragrant. Here I'm dropping in some cinnamon stick, some cloves, the pumpkin spice oil. I'm using some orange extract because I feel like I only use it when I'm making a pound cake. So it's a great way to get rid of that. Drop in at the apples, of course. Going in with some vanilla. Some nutmeg. And some pine cones, which is not going to do anything but look like fall. Last year I decorated my coffee bar for Christmas and really enjoyed it. So this year I'm going to do it for fall as well. I added in a lot of pumpkin spice options for coffee pods. And I found the cups from TJ Maxx. And then I went on to, y'all know my favorite place, Amazon now, and got this pumpkin jar for my sugar. And I even convinced my husband to use these sugar cubes. At first he was like, I do not like these. Now he's like, oh yeah, this is so much better. But yeah, it also makes sure that there isn't a mess. So if you haven't tried sugar cubes, I suggest you do that. I got this fall sign from TJ Maxx too, and this vanilla maple candle smells so amazing. It was at TJ Maxx as well, and they even had an apple chai candle that I picked up. So yeah, if you haven't gone into TJ Maxx in a long time, you may want to. I got these coffee mugs from Amazon. I'll have them linked in the description. And then I'm going to go in and add this wallflower with the sweet cinnamon pumpkin scent. And I have to tell you guys, it smells so good. And this wallflower also has a night light. So in the evening and at night, it just provides just the perfect hint of light downstairs. And yeah, I don't know, it's small touches. I like to say that I am a modest decorator. I don't like a lot of clutter, and I feel like this is just enough. I know people love a lot of flowers. That's just not me, okay? But simple is the way to go for me. And I just love these small touches because it just made me smile after I decorated. So I hope you like it too.
The reason why I can't show them the floor because this garage is never clean. And I know I see y'all comments. I see them. He won't clean it. That's it.
A man's work is never done.
And neither is a woman's.
So y'all, I cut this off too early, but he definitely said yes, the women's job is never done to complain. Whatever. Here's a tip for you all. Because I know I'm getting ready to decorate my porch, I am going to cut down my bushes again. And this time I was like, you know what? We need some better equipment. So I went ahead and started on the bush. My husband thought that I was butchering them, so he offered to finish them, and I accepted, okay? I accepted. Please, I'll stand right here and hand you whatever you need. So after we cut the bushes, the next step was to get our home pressure washed, which was actually happening that very next day. So if you have not pressure washed your home, this is a great time to do so. Anytime that you know you're getting ready to decorate, it just helps so that you don't have to clean everything and wash windows and get dirt off of chairs. I had them to the pressure washing company to pressure wash my rocking chairs because I knew I wanted to repaint them, and that way I wouldn't have to worry about wiping them down and cleaning them beforehand. So in preparation for the company, I'm just removing everything that I don't want to get soaked, taking off my old wreath, getting ready for my fall wreath that I am still excited for you all to see. Y'all know I have chapters, so go ahead and skip ahead if you must. But the pressure washing company has arrived, and they did such an amazing job. And look at those bushes. I just wish they would stop growing. I mean, I don't want them to die or nothing, but Lord knows, please just stop growing. And yeah, so the house is, when I tell you spick and span, it is spick and span. Now, on to my rocking chairs. I picked up that sander from Walmart. Y'all, I know a plant hates to see me coming because I'm going to tell you something. I cannot keep them alive. So with my mums, I made sure they have not budded yet. So at least I know I'll have them for a month at least. I took the sander, and your first step is to sand your rocking chairs. Definitely clean them if you need to. I've already said that, I didn't need to clean them because I had the company pressure wash them. But I'm just sanding, and then I'm going to go back through and just make sure I don't need to do any additional sanding. It comes with 3 different types of sandpaper. I think it was 60, 80, and 120. I only needed the 60. You may need to start with 60 and then go to 80, and then depending upon the condition, you may need to go up to 120. So I just took my hand and kind of wiped over to see and feel if there was any spots or areas that I missed and needed to go over. And then I took that cloth, the dry cloth, and wiped all of the sand dust off. This I got from Lowe's. It is a primer, and I'm going to spray the rocking chair with the primer first. Now, one thing to note is it does state in the directions to be 10 to 16 inches away. It took a little time for me to warm up and understand what I was really doing. So I felt like I was just wasting way too much paint, but I got it together. I got a little bit closer, and as you can see at the top, there was some areas where you can kind of still see through, but that was okay because I knew the paint that I chose is a primer and a paint in one. So this is navy blue. I got it in gloss. You may want to do matte. It is indoor and outdoor paint and primer. Now here's a tip. Let your primer dry, if you're going to use a primer, for at least an hour before you start this process. On this chair, I didn't wait the hour because the instructions said it took 20 minutes to dry. But on the second one, we waited an hour, and it was a world of difference. We didn't use as much paint. But just go up and down and back and forth, and after a while, you will have your chair completely covered. This entire project took an hour and 30 minutes. It was one that my husband actually appreciated me suggesting because he didn't have to be outside for 8 hours. So you all can do it. If we did it, you can do it. Now it's time to decorate the porch. Y'all, this rug is from last year. I bought another rug that says come in and get cozy. No, come in and cozy up, something like that. And it goes with the cozy theme, of course. I got these planters from Hobby Lobby on sale. These are $13.99, and then the large one was $19.99. I'm just drilling some holes for drainage. And because the mums, when I put them in the planter, they were down too low, I decided to give them a little bit of height, and I did that by adding those plastic bottles and then putting the mums on top. And as you can see, now they're at the perfect height. I ended up not keeping the planters here, you'll see later on in the video, but it took me a while to rearrange to be able to get the porch to look the way that I want it to. And sometimes you just have to step back and just kind of see what you have. My husband had this crate, this small crate in the garage, which worked perfect inside this planter. I could not find what I needed, so I ended up pulling these Chanel stems because I couldn't find my zip ties. That's what it was. And I got these Chanel stems and put it through the crates and up through this plant, tie them, put some rocks on top, and then added this moss. That is some messy stuff. I had no idea. Like, oh my gosh. But it did look great afterwards. I have to admit. You all can see the chairs came out really good. The table I did not even prime. I just used the paint and primer in one. But look at the difference, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, part of me was like, I probably should have went with matte because I forgot my door was matte. But it's okay. It's okay. You just gotta believe and gotta go with it. But I think they look outstanding compared to the black. Those chairs were like 10 years old, by the way. Y'all see those pillows? Y'all know I went and got those pillows. See, there's the proof. I went back and got those pillows, honey. So yes, I'm putting them in the rocking chair. I brought this pumpkin back from last year. Here are the blankets from last year. I'm just putting them in a different position. So this is a great way to, reuse some of the items that you had the year before, but use them in a different way. I did end up changing the position of the blankets later on after stepping back and kind of seeing that I wanted things repositioned. Also, if you have not watched I think it's a shorts video that I have on how to make your pillows stay on the porch, you want to look at that, because I'm telling you, hurricane, doesn't matter. Those pillows will not leave that chair. And I think I said porch, but how to make your pillows stay in the chair. All right, so then I am reusing some pumpkins from last year, putting them into the lantern. And y'all, here is the wreath. So I went to Staples because I wasn't sure if I was going to do this in the future. And I had them to make this decal for me. And I'm just trying to figure out how to get it on, how to make sure it's centered. And I don't know why they gave me directions, because of course I didn't read them. But I figured it out, and I thought in the end that it all came together. I thought it looked amazing. This is the end result, but I'm going to tell you where I messed up. And soon you're going to see me come in the frame, and I want you to watch my hand placement. So I chose, actually the words I designed myself in Canva, but watch my hand, see what that pumpkin is? It is slightly to the left of the other pumpkin. It is not centered. And I did not realize until it was too late that although I thought everything was centered, as I continued to maneuver the wreath and put more things on it, it shifted, and it was just too late. So thank goodness this is mine and nobody else's, because I know how hard I worked, and quite frankly, I don't give a darn. It looks good to me. Might be a little bit off, but it works. So I overall am happy with how everything came out, how the chairs came out, how the wreath came out. I'm happy with the bushes, and y'all know what it is. I love it. And I hope you do too. Until the next video. Bye.